Hi, it's Lizzie. I am back for part 2 of building this new junky junk for Junk Fest January, since I have multiple books that I am using. True to form, when I started this the part 1 video and then paused to take a break, that turned into 17 hours later that I'm doing part 2. I can have every plan in the world to just go do a quick chore and then come right back to what I was working on. And, you know, plans, best laid plans, never work out, right? So anyway, and also I have other things that I was going to do this morning, but if I don't work on this right now, then I am in danger of other things getting piled on top of it and then not coming back to it for days and days. And I don't want to do that. And if you have any interest in this at all, then I don't want to do this to you. I don't want to skip it to you. So anyway, here we are. I'm just going to continue building pages onto this, the junker that we started. And in the time that I was not working on this while I was gone, I did work some more on this lovely book. Just did some more writing and stuff, and then I played some more with some paints and the metallic gilding wax that my sister-in-law sent me. So I did another tip-in page with that. Did some metallic pens over here just to start covering some of my writing. Just had a little bit of fun, little collage on this. And not much else. This tip in here. So anyway, I did do a little bit of that because I can't help myself. I'm watching TV or I'm doing whatever, and I have to have a journal in front of me. So I do have, sometimes I have more than one daily journal a month, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's keep building pages. And where I left off was showing you how I will select something that is the right thickness so that the page that I go to attach to my existing pages is at the same height as the existing pages. And that's just so that they link up together. If you don't have this, the next page that you go to add, you know, is obviously it's going to connect too low on the spine, which isn't the end of the world, but it will wrap around at the end. So there's no rules really. Oh, look at this cute little thing that I made. Huh. There's no rules. There's no not necessarily a right or wrong way, but that is something that I do that has made it a little bit easier so that it stays sturdier after a lot of pages are added. Okay, next page. I think we're going to add this artwork of my sons. It was called Healthy Environment, Healthy Life. Oh, how cute is that? Look at, there's little dinosaur bones under the earth. I think that's a worm. That must be a subway. Cute, the birds. I remember him being proud of showing me this because my career and education and hobby before junk journaling was garden design, and I worked in wholesale plants for 20 years, so I'm a horticulturist and you know, nature enthusiast overall, and so he was excited to show me that he drew this. Okay, so how am I going to use it in this book? You know, it's cute and it's fun, and I love that memory of it. You know, and it's my son, but also I'm beyond adding things to these journals, it's kind of like closure. Once I put something of sentimental value into a journal, I've given it that second life. I guess the point I'm going to try to make is if I tear this to make it, let's say, into quarters, I'm okay with that because I'm going to use all 4 quarters in this book or, you know, 4 separate books. So I don't want anyone to be sad if I do tear this into pieces, but I think, even as I say that, I might fold this up and I could fold these in. This would make it extra thick. I could fold these in just so that it all fits right into our happy little size. Ooh, you know what? That's what I'll do. And then for those, if you hadn't seen part 1, my plan in the end, and this could definitely change, is to have this become, this bag become the cover ultimately. And so I kind of want my pages to be able to fit into that, but I can always cut them down or tear them apart or take them out or anything. So it's not a huge concern, but you know, if you want to try to plan your pages better than I do, or, you know, collect your pages at a certain size range, that's one way to do it, is to keep whatever your cover is going to be and kind of map out the size from there. And I'm just going to do the masking tape. Here's another little trick though. Because I'm connecting it to this smaller piece of paper, if I do tape all down the edge, the part that goes over on these sides are going, you know, the tape is going to stick to this, and then this piece won't open logistically. So I'm going to do tape. I have a couple choices. I could do tape just for the distance of this little piece of paper, or I could do a little piece of tape here, here, and along there. I'm going to start with this, and then as I build the book, if this starts to become weak, then I can secure it. Okay. And again, I'm just using the office, home and office masking tape that I usually get on Amazon or at the dollar store. Oh, I went real wonky on that, which I don't care about. Again, if you hadn't seen part 1, I think part of the reason that people often don't use tape for hinging junk journals might be because they don't maybe like seeing tape on each page, but I cover almost every single page. I will, you know, decorate this or even possibly tape something over it or glue or paint or write, and the tape will not be an eyesore. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as it is for now. I'll fold it up like that. It might become, you know, later that I decide that I don't want it to be a folded in poster, but now that I did it, I really love it. I do want to just put some tape on this couple of rips here, because once this opens and closes several times, this will weaken. And I think, you know what I have for this? I didn't even show you guys this tape yet. I'm like addicted to tape, or it's going to seem that way for sure. for Christmas fancy stocking stuffer is mending tissue, which I wanted because I collect a lot of really old books, and I thought, you know, I wanted to have in my inventory things that could, you know, repair books that I don't want to tear apart, or even if I do tear them apart, this can be a really good solution for really brittle pages. And it is similar to the linen hinging tape that I was using in part 1. It is semi-translucent, so you can pretty much see through it. My concern is that I've got this hole here, so I'm going to put a piece of paper just a little scrap of paper here to fill in so that the tape doesn't stick through. Do you ever find it hard to find a scrap of paper when you need it, even if you're surrounded by scraps of paper? I've heard other people say that before, so I feel like I'm not alone, but I have to put that out there too. Ooh, maybe I'll do this old dictionary page. That's kind of cool. Ooh, and I still have some Miller, which is my last name. But this one looks nice too. Oh, I'm going to do this. And so this becomes the start of a collage page. You know, this will be I'll turn this into a collage. So I said I was going to use that mending tissue. But I could just glue this. Yeah. Ow! Sorry. There was a really loud reaction I had there. Sorry. It did not hurt that badly. It sounded worse than it was. Alright, so I'm going to try glue stick here, and whoopsie, I like to use Craft Bond Extra Strength Permanent Bond by Elmer's. That's my favorite. It doesn't always hold as glue sticks sometimes are not the most reliable, but it holds better than any other kind of glue stick I've tried. Other permanent glue sticks, other school glue sticks. I really have had very good luck with it, actually. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that looks cool. And okay, and then this one doesn't really have an opening, so I will do the mending, just mending tissue right there. Oops. Ooh, it breaks easily. Look, you can't even see that. That's cool. But it's different than tape. It's like tissue paper, but sticky, with a sticky side. I do have a new mic that I'm using. I thought I was using it in part 1, but as I played it back, I don't think I did it right. So hopefully I did it right this time, and it is not too loud or annoying or fuzzy. We shall see. Okay, so again, this was Mending Tissue by Line Co., which is the same company that makes the linen hinging tape that I like, this white one. And I just get that on Amazon. Okay. Oh, that did stick together there, didn't it? So I need another little... I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this pattern paper and stick that where that tape is sticking through. And then hopefully it won't be too noticeable in the end. Okay, moving on. Something else that I could do if it becomes problematic is cut this seam right here, just kind of in a triangle, so that as it folds this way, it I don't know, hinges better. Ooh, that's fun. Look at how thick we are already. In part one, I talked about how if this cool apple bag is my cover at the end of this, that it's rather thick. So basically this would go along where the spine is, the bottom. So you can see how far away our book is from being thick enough to merit that width of the bottom. But we'll see. Okay, now I would like a funky paper of sorts. Here's one. This was just like the cellophane packaging that it looks like I bought something vintage for $2.50. And I'm just gonna wonder if you can go this size. Okay, I am gonna cut the sticky part off. Because I want the pocket to be usable, and if I'm trying to pry open the sticky part, it will rip the pages, likely. So I could fold it, and I could, this end would be open, and I could open the other end so that it's like two little pockets, but I think I'm going to leave it upright like this with just this top end open and see what happens. Here's our little pile of papers here. Speaking of pile, let me show you my cat Cheeto, who is in a little pile right there. Cheaty! Cheaty kitty! Oh, not even gonna move. Not an inch. Not a shiver. Oh gosh, did I mess up my view now? Okay. This is rather bright in there. All right. Let's do this clear one again for this, which you could use any Scotch tape at all. And I should say that about my tape inventory. I've been collecting it for a little while, and you don't need anything special. No special tape at all. These are, I just like to play with different tapes. And depending on the paper that I use, some tapes are maybe more fun or more artistic maybe, but really any tape will do. I just threw that one on the floor. So maybe it doesn't want to play anymore. It's going back to bed. It is rather early in our house. There. that just hinged on there perfectly. So now it's a page, and we could put something in it to make it sturdy. Oh, you know what? I could add a bit more tape here. I'm a messy, imperfect crafter. Disclaimer. All right, so what I'll put in here, and I think I do kind of want to have a bit of an opening of sorts, which I could do something fancy and cute, but for now, I'm just going to cut a little bit of, you know, making the first, oh gosh, you can't see that at all. Making the first, no, you still can't see that. The first layer has a little divot so that it's a little easier to open. I'm going to put this awesome antique leather, it has to be antique. Yeah. Leather postcard from Canada. Sault Ste. Marie. I can't read exactly what it says down here, but a little note. And it, so this is like leather. And then the leaves are like, I don't know what you call that, felted? Fuzzy? Okay, let's see if I can read anything here. No. Jefferson, Wisconsin is who it was sent to, or where it was sent to, and that says Jefferson, Wisconsin, USA. The stamp is a 2-cent stamp, Canada postage, celebrating 1608 to 1908. So this must be from 1908. Something in Quebec. I can't quite see in the ink stamp the date. It's just kind of mushy. But the Canadian stamp is awesome. Okay, that's going to go in our little package for now. And so I like to put these in because they crinkle. And when you have the book all together, it makes all these good noises. That might be a little heavy. No, it's okay. If I needed to secure it more, I could put tape around the binding at this point. But really, the next page that goes on is going to be secured here. So it will give it some industrial strength. Beverage. I love that a lot of junk journal YouTubers will have a gorgeous cup of coffee or tea with them as they film. And I used to drink those, but lately the Diet Pepsi is my vice. So it's not as pretty to have on display, but I do love it. Okay, so in part 1, I showed you guys this box of, ooh, you're very close. Sorry about that. My box of junk gathered around Christmas time that I would like to use. Some of. Ooh, let's do a, oh, that's tiny. some music paper. Oh, there's a cute illustration. I haven't done a good illustration yet, have I? Other than my son's. Here's an old one from the 1930s. Ooh, and that'll look good next to that. Come on, Liz. Postcard. Oof. Maybe I need to drink some coffee, find my words again. Okay, I've got some other postcards in here. I've got some fabrics. I've got some packaging, some letters. This is nice card. Ooh, an envelope would be good next. Also. Ooh, and a napkin. Oh, I don't have to take them out. Let's see. Let's just put those there for now. And it's not necessarily that I'm making a Christmas journal, but I collected things at Christmas that I wanted to put in a journal. So now's the perfect time as I'm remembering back through the month. This is a cool envelope from the Happy Mail my sister-in-law sent. That we'll do next. I think we'll... That's cute too. We'll do this. And some of these things I could save in case I do a Christmas journal next year, but I'll have more things next year to put in a Christmas journal. In fact, I have enough things already. Now, I will say if you have too many tape choices, it might make might make things more difficult if you are like me and have the kind of brain that probably needs less choices in order to properly make decisions. I'm not doing well this morning. I've not slept well. I don't sleep very well anymore, ever. And it is because of a multitude of things. Comedy, if you will. So my sleep patterns are really bizarre. Okay, that looked more difficult than it was. You just kind of pull it together and mush it down with a bone folder if you have one, and I like to call it my bone crusher. And if not a bone crusher, then often I'll just use the handle to my scissors. And I don't know what that magic is, but it really helps your creases. All right, so we're getting some goodness here. Look at that. Yes. Yeah, we'll do this. You know, I was gonna do this envelope, but if I don't really want to cover this. And it might be fun for an envelope to attach it like that. You know, like this, as opposed to hinging it this way. Okay, so that's not the next thing that we'll put on. The next thing will be this. I wonder if I should use this napkin. Okay, not yet. Not yet. What else do we have in here? What consistency do I need? Ooh, I should do a darker page. So craft paper, like that envelope color would have been perfect. I do certainly have some craft paper. Here's a little card. Cute. Let's do that. I'm sure there's easier, more efficient ways to do this sort of thing. But this is the way I seem to like it the most. Because I love to make things more complicated for myself. Something I could have done on that one to make it easier was put something heavy on each side, because then that keeps them from kind of floating about. But it's fine. It's great, actually. So now it can open like that. Put them together again. Okay, we're starting to get pretty thick in the middle. So we might not be able to make it too huge. Let's try just a piece of... Oh, you know what? We can do that envelope now, can't we? Let's do that. And then attach it like this. Or... this is what was on the box that my sister-in-law sent to me. And the front of it is really cute, but it has an address. So let me... she did the cute stamping and stuff. And little snowflakes. So I'm undecided if I should hinge it right there or here, or let's just attach this. And maybe this is what we'll do. Well, this is what we'll do. Something that's going through my head and making it difficult for me to just hinge this down is the fact that I'm getting pretty heavy on this side. So I'm trying to think of ways that the spine, that the inner part of the book can be a little thicker. And I can do that when I decorate by adding more in the middle, but I want to keep it in mind as I hinge. I don't know how to explain that. I'm sure there's some educated way to explain that. And maybe it's nothing that I can actually fix, but it's what I'm thinking about. Anyway. Okay, set that there to keep it in place. And I'm gonna do masking tape, so I'll set this one here. Perfect. Just kind of bring it together like that. There it goes. Those geese want to get in here, don't they? I better put those in. Or ducks. Ducks? Geese? It's cute. It's wallpaper that I stuck to this brown paper packaging. Let's do that. I'm going to do more masking tape just because I feel like I'm needing some strength here. Extra strength. The strength of the width, I think, of the tape. But it really, I don't think it's necessary. It's not like a rule. It's just how my brain makes a decision. Okay. There we go. God, I'm just throwing things. Okay. That's cute. I have a whole roll of this that I would like to use in different ways. And it's self-sticking. I did use a little glue, but it pretty much sticks. It's from like the 90s, so it's kind of turned a little bit of color on the sticky side. So I don't know how well it will stick. Like I probably wouldn't use it as a wallpaper border if I were a person who used wallpaper border. Here's another one that I got. With the kitties. And a goose. And some apples. Sunflowers. Quilts. Well, now I have to use that, don't I? I mean, not right now, but let's just put a backing on it of some sort. Let's do this pattern paper here. If you don't put a backing on it right away, it's rather sticky. So, sticky. There we go. Oh, that's going to be super cute. So I like to use, changing topics again here. I like to use wallpaper as a good cover for journals. I have a few of them on my Etsy shop right now because it's so sturdy and it feels cool when you've got like layers underneath it. It's just like a funny pillow kind of effect. That tactily seems to make me happy. Okay, so we will use that at some point too. Isn't that cute already? A little package. It's funny what paper seems to do to my mind. All right, we need something else kind of crinkly. That's going to be this little packaging here. I don't know if that sticker. Oh, yeah. Well, I undid that sticker, but actually. I like that sticker, but I want to put this in the book actually like this so that these pieces fold out. So I'm going to put the sticker inside here. That wants to be a little bit unruly, so I am going to put something on it to hold it down. I have tape stuck to me, sorry. And there's more tape stuck to me. else can I use to set this down over here? Okay, this will hold this in place. See, we're getting a little bit oh, I'm gonna have to stop this video pretty soon. Where are we? Oh, we're at 40 minutes again already. Oh my gosh. Time really does fly when you're having fun. I'm having fun. I hope you're crafting along, or you know, whatever you might need a body double for. Sometimes it helps to just have somebody talking as aimlessly as I do while you're getting whatever you need done. Okay. So how's this gonna work here? We need some better execution. Okay, we're gonna have to change where this folds. And then I'll do another piece of tape. We'll just do the clear cello tape. Do you ever have days where, like, you drop a lot of stuff, or you are very forgetful, or can't think of words? Friends tell me it is probably perimenopause, or menopause, or premenopause, or something like that, mixed with ADHD, or perhaps enhancing ADHD. It's like all the magic comes out at a certain age. And yeah, so if you're not going through those types of things and you're watching me and listening to me and you're thinking, she could definitely be doing this a better way, just know that I can't hear you. No, just know that I probably know that another way exists, but I'm just having fun, and I hope you are too. All right, here we go. I think we got this one on. I am going to trim these sharp corners off this guy, though, because this paper is kind of like, sharp. Okay. All right, so then that is a nice crinkly page. Ooh, I love that one. And when I go to turn it into something, both of these will open, and you know, all of this can be collaged with something. You won't even know anymore that it's this particular packaging, possibly. Who knows how it's going to end up, but all right, let's check our spine here, and by check I just mean kind of straighten it out a little bit. I mentioned in part one a trick for if you start to get the tackiness from the tape showing through on the spine is to just brush a little bit of cornstarch onto the sticky parts, and that reduces or gets rid of the tackiness. It also works, I don't know if you ever decoupage things together and then they like hold on to a little bit of stickiness. I've been kind of experimenting with that a little bit. It doesn't cure it completely, but it certainly helps. Speaking of that, that reminds me of another cool illustration I wanted to use in here. Really old. Let me get my box of tricks here. Oh, these very old illustrations. Look at this. Oh, isn't that wonderful? At an estate sale, I acquired some amazing scrapbooks. Victorian, all the way through the 50s. And I can't tell you what year exactly these were. Well, I could if I researched it further, but let's see. It says 82 D3, Old Friends Are the Best. Copyright The Knapp Company, Inc., New York. Of course, the artist is C.M. Bird. Oh my gosh. Was my head just in front of the camera? Sorry. Anyway, the scrapbook is just pages and pages of this kind of glorious scrapbooking from the time. And I have a little trick to get the scrapbooking goodies off of scrapbook paper. However, it doesn't always work. But it's called Undo, and it's an adhesive remover. And I think you have to soak whatever you're trying to remove. I think you have to soak it for quite a while to get it to work. I have to experiment some more, but I'm so scared. I don't want to ruin these precious gems. So in some situations, I just took out the pages and, quartered the pages or cut the ones that I could to salvage. Some of the pages are, drastically damaged. The scrapbook, I don't know what people's opinions are on saving that kind of thing. So I like to use them this way, where I will remember them forever. And other ways. But this one I saved because I wanted to use it for my personal journal. This old, it is antique. These scrapbooks were started in the 1800s. The paper is so old, and it's so fun to write on, but it is really rather brittle in some instances. So we'll see how it does in this instance. That was a terrible adhesion, but let's... Oh, it's okay. I think we're okay. What I might do if it becomes... What I'm worried about is this being a weak point where the tape meets the paper. Every time it turns, if that becomes weak, then I would just put more... I'd put a wider piece of tape there. Maybe I'll just do that right now, actually. Yeah. Oops. That'll ruin it quickly. There we go. Okay. Oh, that is so cute. Now I kind of want to cut this off and just have this be the size of the book. Oops. You guys. I I think I have to stop the video and come back to this another day because, or not another day, but later today, because yeah, I'm not fully functioning, which is okay if I'm just sitting here crafting by myself, but maybe you don't love it. If you do, let me know, and then I guess we're just crafting together no matter what, right? Now see, this has started to tear right here a little, and I think I'll do that mending tissue again. If you can remember where I hid that. Where the heck did I put that? Oh, so much stuff. Oh, it was right in front of me. Oh, shoot. I tore it again. These boxes have like a funny little way that you can supposedly more easily get the tape, but it doesn't seem to be my friend. Then what I could do is just kind of maybe antique linen, distress ink those, because I won't do anything else really to these pages probably, because these are so glorious by themselves. I mean, maybe I could draw a frame. Let's see, we've got our vintage photo and walnut stain and antique linen. This tape does seem to take inks really well. It's like it just disappeared. Just gonna do a little bit more over here. I used the same fabric piece that I use for walnut stain, so it's rather dark. Here's a slightly lighter one. However, that worked. It dirtied up the page a little, but that's okay. Kind of hid the tape. Well, kind of. Now that I look closely with you, it almost made it more obvious. Let's try this lighter dauber here. Well, I'll do more of that as I get more detailed in it, but I just wanted to kind of show you how it takes the distress inks. So that's the mending tissue again, and the linen hinging tape also takes distress inks really nicely. Just kind of easy to blend them into the page. Oh, this one is falling apart. I have several others that I hardly ever use, but they have different colors on them. Anyway, I hate to buy new when I feel like I have hundreds. Okay, so antique linen doesn't always make me as happy as vintage photo and walnut stain, but that worked quite nicely to blend that a little bit. It's not done. I'm not finished. It's not perfect, nor am I looking for perfection. Ouch. But at least you can see that. So Old Friends Are the Best. This one said by C.M. Bird. And this one says, a word to the wise is sufficient. Look at that. I should find out what year those were. A lot of these were like advertisements in the newspaper. If I can get some of them off of the scrapbook paper, there's usually something on the back of them that might indicate the year. But I could also Google when's it. I'm just loving how much that finished where I am so far, that I think this is a good time to break. I hate to cover it up, but I also don't want that to be the back cover because I need to protect that. And we've got a long way to go, really, but I am going to stop here, I think, for now. Let's just take a look at what we've got so far. And don't worry, you know, depending on how I want it to be at the end, I will even out the pages that are wonky, or I'll leave them wonky. Cute. Okay, good stopping point for now. I guess we'll do a part 3 when we build it even bigger. Thank you guys so much again for being a part of this. As I've said before, I need to do this for my mental sanity. My husband and my son are very supportive. My whole family is super supportive, but no one of them are, you know, as into this as I am, so they don't want to talk about it all the time. My sister-in-law, however, does journal like all of this, and she's an incredible artist, so she and I can talk a lot. But yeah, it is just helpful to be able to share this with kindred spirits. So thank you so much for being here. Please leave any questions that you might have. I will try to remember to put links to the products in, but I probably won't do that right away. I'll post it before I remember to do that. So please ask if you're wanting to know the names of those tapes or anything again. Come back for part 3. Thank you guys. Love you. Have a great day. Bye.